It's definitely been a crazy year. I can guarantee that there'll be no year like it. The start of 2020, COVID-19 came out of nowhere and hit us like a truck. It affected all of us in different ways. Loss of relationships, millions of friends and family, destruction, and death. However, I'll be focusing on gaming in particular, how the pandemic affected gaming as a whole. The gaming scene was looking great for 2020. Many amazing titles were going to be announced for release. Final Fantasy VII Remake, the new Animal Crossing for next gen, Cyberpunk 2077, The Last of Us Part 2. Who wouldn't be excited? On top of that, it was time to say goodbye to old gen and say hello to new. The PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X were being announced for development. This was going to be a great year. Not only that, there are also new components for PC players that are coming out in the future. Having the ability to stay home and increased free time to play video games seemed like heaven. But let's get another perspective on this. With a special guest slash friend. Hello there.
Hello.
Alright. Can you tell me who you are and why you're here?
My name is Christian Badilla, and I'm here for an interview.
Alright. I'm glad that you're here, Mr. Padilla.
Thank you.
Question number 1. How has gaming changed or affected you during the pandemic?
So when it comes to the topic of gaming, how it's affected me, I mean, it gives me something to do to pass the time, because because of the pandemic, we have a lot more free time than that we used to. So before the pandemic, we'd spend a lot of our days at school, commuting to school and commuting from school. But now that that's been removed from our lives, we have that free time in between to ourselves. So, yeah.
Would you say you game more during the pandemic than before it?
Yeah, I'd say more because we just have way more free time on our hands because we can get to our homework. I can get to my homework faster and I can get it done faster than I used to be able to, since it's all online. So yeah, I'd say more.
All right. Now, as a self-proclaimed pro gamer, how do you feel about the scalping situation?
um for the topic of scalping, in my opinion, I feel that it kind of makes things unfair for everyone else. Everyone else is just trying to play games, enjoy themselves, and have fun. But the scalpers is kind of ruining things for everyone.
That's facts. That's facts. Has there been a release for a game slash console that has been delayed because of the pandemic?
So uh, I I can't name any specifics, but I have heard of games that have been delayed or canceled because of the pandemic. Because since people can't come into office now, they can't get as much work done as they used to. So projects just aren't getting completed.
Okay. Have you been disappointed with the game that has come out this year?
Um, yeah, actually. So it was a game I was really looking forward to. Cyberpunk 2077. It was a game that I was waiting for a long time. I even pre-ordered it, and I was so excited to play it. And when it came out, I mean, it just wasn't what I expected because it had so many bugs and so many things wrong with it because it was rushed out and there were a lot of limitations put on the developers because of the COVID and the pandemic.
That's a shame to hear. Well, you heard it, folks. Well, that's it for all our questions. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. As you heard, the pandemic has affected our interviewees' gaming experience. Gamers have a lot to be looking for 2020, as previously mentioned. As we learned about more games that are coming out, the more hype we got. The positives that came out of the year, as mentioned, where people have more free time, and that means more time to play games or to catch up on games that they couldn't previously play because they had a busy schedule. Even this article by BBC.com and The Verge say that gaming community has increased due to boredom or as a way to socialize. Another positive is the increase in Twitch users. In combination with the free time, people return to streaming as a way to earn money while playing games or to talk to people. Negative impacts of the pandemic are pretty harsh and hit gamers hard. That would be the release dates on games would be delayed, as my interviewee said, cancellations, and worst of all, pushbacks on next gen console. The pandemic put a lot of people out of work. Less people working means less production and manpower, and that goes for the new consoles. Production on components could not be manufactured on time and also meet the quota. It was impossible. And for that, the release dates were pushed back for the holiday season. But that wasn't all. Even after release, the majority of people couldn't get a hold of the new consoles because of scalpers. Scalpers, or scalping, is the act of buying a product, in this case the latest console, and reselling them for a couple more than the MSRP. This isn't illegal or anything, but it is annoying. Usually, they will bump up the price a couple $100s, but this time scalpers are taking advantage. Now, we are paying double the amount, and on top of that, we're in a pandemic, so not a lot of people have money. So instead of it being $500, it's now $1,000. As you can see, the problem. In his documentary, we have seen another person's perspective on the experience during the pandemic. We have gone over how the pandemic has brought out the inner gamer in people and how it increased the gaming scene, how the pandemic increased the amount of Twitch users, how it put people out of jobs and delayed games and console, and lastly, how increased the scalping issue that has gone on for a while. Thank you all for watching, and remember, keep on gaming.